compact saws have been a staple in my outdoor system for years.
When was that, like 4 years ago?
And if you missed the recent video we threw up, I had to redact my recommendations on silky saws. I have recently broken both of them with not aggressive use. They just snapped because I believe the blades are a little too hard, or I got, you know, bad ones, or I don't know what happened, but I had to dump them, and I'm going back to my Bahco Laplander. This guy has a 7-inch blade, really nice, simple ergonomic handle, made in Sweden, I believe. Yes, made in Sweden. You know, lightweight, I believe about 6 ounces, and is going to run you about $20 to $22. We're going to have links in the description below for all the saws that you see here today. Thank you guys for using those hyperlinks to Amazon and Blade HQ. Really helps us out. Helps me buy gear just like what you're going to see in this video and make content for you like this. So when I'm looking for compact portability, the Bahco, it has been my champ for years. The Silkies tried to come in on it, but I'm coming back to it because of the issues I've had with breakage on my Silkies. And then we recently tested a larger saw for bigger tasks, the Samurai Ichiban. Ichiban? Dude, is that an Ichiban? Don't tell me this is a Samurai Ichiban. Bro, did you just tell me your buns are itchy? No, dude, I'm talking about the Samurai Ichiban. And man, have we been impressed with this Ichiban. Not only does it have the flexibility that you need, but man, for the price of about $40, it is a machine, and we love it. We're up here on a backpacking trip right now. We're up at about 11,000 feet, Alpine Lake. Trek this guy up there because it's rather lightweight for its size and performs extremely well for the price of about $40. But I'm always looking for options, always looking for different scenarios, situations, not only for myself, but for you guys. So on this trip, I went and purchased a Corona 10-inch folding pruning saw. This guy's gonna run you about $20, so very similar to the Bahco, and about $20 less than what you're gonna pay for that full-size Ichiban, just to give you some size perspective there. So similar concept, kind of an in-between these two saws. So we're gonna break this saw down today, see where it falls in. Do I recommend it? Do I like it? Does it make sense to purchase this over the Bahco or over the Ichiban? Is this maybe kind of an in-between line that can do both? We're gonna find out today as we look at this 10-inch Corona. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk blade performance first. Where does this Corona 10-inch fall in with its two siblings that we're looking at here? One from Bahco, one from Samurai. Now that Bahco with its 7-inch multi-pull blade, meaning it'll cut both ways. When you push, it'll cut. When you pull, it'll cut. Because of its straight design, it's great for bushcraft tasks. And what I mean by that is for like notching, different type of angles when you're making triggers and traps. Maybe you're building an actual like structure that needs like square knots or square notches and those type of things. This thing is awesome and can do minor delimbing and minor tree cutting. Trees that are usually about 3 inches or less, branches that are about 3 inches or less, this thing does great. There's no complaints, and for the $20 to $25 price point and the 6 ounces, it's a champ. Now the Ichiban at 13 inches and it's curved pull, so when you pull is when you cut, and then when you push it clears the track, and then you pull again. So in that motion you're clearing and pulling. It really does an amazing job at wood processing. Meaning if you got a lot of logs you got to go through, you are building a fire, you need maybe to go through larger, let's say 6-inch, 8-inch logs, and you're maybe making a foundation for some sort of other building you're going to be doing, structure that you might be doing, even stools that you may be doing out of logs, you know, so you can sit on. I mean, whatever. However you may be doing it, this thing is going to be a machine. Larger branches, lots and lots of work that needs to be done, and you got a lot of wood that's larger in diameter to go through. This thing is awesome and will cut like butter. The trouble is that it's not very agile, meaning you're not going to be able to do a lot of notches and precise cuts like a Bahco would be and the Laplander would offer to you. So it's more of a blunt instrument, if you will, just doing lots of wood processing. You're dealing in a ton of branches, you're getting big logs for a fire or for a structure, and that's what you need to worry about, not notches and finer cutting and detailed work that you may want your saw when you're out there in the bush to do for you. And again, with that $40 price point, weighs about 12 ounces with its sheath. For the weight, if you need to go through a ton of wood and you just need a wood processor, it's hard to beat at that price to weight to value. Now to the Corona. So 10 inches, so a little bit shorter than that Ichiban, definitely larger than the Baco Laplander. You're getting that 10 inches and that curved blade, and it's going to weigh in about 10 ounces, so right in the middle there, right in the middle of blade length, and it's going to cost you about 20 bucks. So it's actually the cheapest, or one of the cheapest of the three that we're looking at today. So that the price is a huge selling point for this design. Now, with that curved pull cut design, it is a really good wood processor. The Ichiban is definitely faster, and that's because of the longer blade, the slightly different teeth structure, and the different, more pistol grip handle ergonomics. Though this is similar, it just doesn't have what the Ichiban has with that awesome pistol grip. So when speed and longevity of use is key, Ichiban still wins, but this is a close second and will absolutely cut quicker and easier than the Baco will Laplander on most just cutting tasks. If you're just, again, going through wood, precision is not needed. This thing will absolutely outperform the Laplander, but cannot outperform the Ichiban. And the design hang-up would be because of the curve and the pull cut design, it's still not a very precise instrument. The Laplander is still going to have a leg up on precision, not only because of size and weight, but in just the push-pull design and the straight blade design. Just makes it easier to cut notches and do more bushcraft style tasks. And obviously with the fixed blade design, the Ichiban is going to be the largest footprint, but with its sheath, it will fit like a large fixed blade or machete, rather sleek, rather slim in its design. This is the most compact, lightweight of the three we're looking at. And to give us just a little size perspective against the Laplander there. The one thing that is kind of a hang up for me with the Corona when it's folded up is that there is that locking mechanism again, which is good, so it's not going to accidentally fly open. You got to use the lever back here. But you can see there's a lot of exposed teeth. Now, I'm not really going to nick myself, but if I grabbed it in a weird way, that's going to really hurt. I could tear myself, tear my hand up. And when we were backpacking, which is where we took this and where we did most of our testing with this design, the issue that I had was when we're stuffing it into our packs, we were really concerned that these teeth were going to get snagged on maybe a mesh basket, a water bottle sleeve, when you're pulling it out, and really tear up your pack. So that's an aspect to the design I'm not really keen on at all, and would ultimately, if this was going to be like my go-to saw that I'm taking into the woods, I would have to come up with some sort of like sheath to always carry it in and purchase it and spend more money. So to get something reasonable, I know some people make similar nylon pouches that would fit this. You're going to spend another $20. Now we're right up there with the Ichiban, and really, is it worth going with a folding versus now at that point just getting a fixed blade Ichiban? Because I would not feel comfortable throwing this inside a pack or stuffing it on the outside of a basket or pouch, because at a pull, if it just caught a certain piece of nylon, it could totally snag and destroy a pouch, a pocket, or just tear the whole backpack open. So that is a concern of mine. If you're just using it around town, or around town like your home, like we are here, or as on a construction site, landscaping job, not as big a deal as long as you're wearing leather gloves and you're conscientious that there are about 3 inches of exposed teeth. And before we wrap up with some final thoughts, let's go ahead and jump over to the mailbag and answer some of your guys' comments from weeks past. So a question here from the mailbag comes from Chris Zergnast. Chris asked, what was the best experience you ever had in the outdoors? That is like the hardest question in the world to answer. I will try to do it with the 2-for-1. I have two. I can't just pinpoint one. Two would be, the first one would be the second multi-day backpacking trip we did here at the channel, when I went with just my brother and my dad. My cameraman Brian couldn't make it, and a couple other buddies just couldn't do it, so it was just family. And that was really the first time that we hit like an amazing peak. I've used the footage a lot in the channel over the years just because it was so amazing. The views, we ran into several moose and saw moose on the trip, had some amazing sunsets. The location was great. It was a really hard trek up there for a couple days to get to where we wanted to go, or not days, but the trek to get up there was difficult. So it was really like the first jump into really some stunning experiences, and that was a couple years ago. And since then, like every time has gotten better and better, but there was just something special about that because it was just family. We had a really cool wildlife experiences. We had really cool peak experiences. And it was just something that I will remember the rest of my life as kind of the launching pad for some of our multi-day backpacking adventures, and showed me how valuable they are, not only for family but also for the experience and the outdoors. The second one was just some car camping at a local lake on 4th of July. We have had to take a step back just with all the kids in the last 2 years, but we're wanting to get back into that. Is doing a couple-day camping trip near a lake where they'll shoot fireworks off 4th of July over the lake, and we had a bunch of people come up for the day because we were in pretty close by, just outside of town, still out in the woods, but and that was just awesome to have friends, family, all hanging out, all outdoors, barbecuing, chilling out, camping, and then we even had a really heavy rainstorm come in at 8 o'clock in the evening. We were concerned that it had rained out the fireworks, and then just as it was about time for fireworks, it cleared out and they launched the fireworks, and it was a really fun, cool experience for car camping, and just had a lot of people involved in that experience, so it was a blast. All right, so question with the mailbag. This one comes from Beginners Woodworking, and he asks, do you watch Wrangle Star? If you don't, you should. I do actually subscribe to Wrangle Star. I'm subscribed to a lot of guys. I don't watch anyone super faithfully just because I'm so busy with everything else going on in my life, but I do subscribe to him. He's definitely not only given me a lot of really cool insight to stuff that I definitely don't normally do, like woodworking and homestead life and stuff, but also just giving me tips as a YouTuber on how to better maybe use terminology to get people interested in the videos instead of just glazing over and going by. He is like the king of clickbait, and I don't necessarily say that in a negative way. I mean, he titles things in a really good way that gets me interested, and most of the time, I'm very happy with the time I spend watching his videos, and I usually leave learning something. So great question. Yes, Wrangle Star is a great guy to follow. If you guys don't follow, check him out. He's got a lot of really good insight, and I've learned a lot personally on not so much the survival side, but just the life side, and a lot of tools, woodworking, if you want to get into that, different things like that. He definitely has it going on. And I hope you guys are enjoying this mailbag idea. If you want to get involved in the conversation and possibly have your question answered on air live on a upcoming video, just put #mailbag and then ask your question, and I'm always looking, and if one really jumps off the screen at me, then I might include it in an upcoming video. So thank you guys for your participation in the mailbag and keeping this continuing to go. I think it's a really cool aspect to our conversation that we have here at the channel. Well, there you have it, folks. I hope that this breakdown of these 3 saws, and particularly this Corona 10-inch, has helped you out and make a wise choice. For me, as long as you can get over those exposed teeth and you're on a tight budget, it's a great wood processor that is portable. You can do a lot of wood processing. But if you're looking for something that's lighter weight and a more fine detailed work, then the Laplander is the way to go. And if you just need a machine to go through as much wood as possible, then the Ichiban is still, in my opinion, the way to go, and is going to be a great bang to buck to value. So it is absolutely kind of that middle saw that is still hitting a great price point, but does have a few flaws and a few limitations, particularly on the more finer detailed side, and won't quite compete with its larger Ichiban siblings. So I hope that all of this is just giving you good data points. That's what I always want to do in this video, guys, is help you make wise decisions to make you aware of what tools can do, what they can't do, so that when you throw your hard-earned money down, you're happy with your purchase and it's doing what you want it to do in the scenarios that you're looking for. So thank you so much. Check us out on all the relevant social media. That's a great way to see what's up and coming, projects I'm working on, Facebook, Instagram, that type of stuff, as well as thank you, regular subscribers. You rock. If you're not a current subscriber, I'd invite you to become part of the GT family. We're throwing up videos like this every single week, giving you guys good, full content that you guys can participate in and just have a good time and have fun while we look at gear and being part of a family. It's just cool to have interaction and conversation through the comments and other ways on social media as well. So guys, thank you so much. And finally, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.